Hey guys, how are you? This is Melissa Herreria. I am the founder of the Limitless Army and a one-star diamond coach. I'm making this video because Al asked me to be on a call at 4 p.m. with you all, and he did give me some questions in advance. And as I kind of just looked at my schedule, I thought to myself, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually make it to this call, but I didn't want to not answer questions. So I may be able to make the call, and we may be able to talk more, but at least I have your questions answered in advance. So a couple of questions had to do with my posting schedule. So do I organize my posts daily? What do I decide to post, etc. So I created a document on my notes page. So first and foremost, I want to tell you guys that I have done Marketing Impact Academy. I've done Instagram Impact Academy. I've done Hillary Rushford's Instagram Academy. So I've kind of picked up some of what all these people have said. I've also done Amy Porterfield's Facebook Academy because I've invested in my business in order to reap the benefits, because a lot of the stuff I didn't know how to do, or I didn't know how to do it correctly. So I can give you as much advice as I can, but some of this you're going to have to take those steps and invest in Marketing Impact Academy or something like that to kind of really drill in. But so I did all of those courses, and they all say to kind of have a list on what you're going to be talking about. So I called this like my Instagram strategy because it has 9 squares. And it's because when someone comes to your profile, they're either going to see 6 squares or 9 squares, depending on how long your bio is. You really should keep your bio to 3 lines so that you can get 3 lines of squares, so you can get 9 squares and people can see your stuff. So in my 9 squares, I need to have a motivation. I need to have a fun picture. I need to have something of me dancing, workout idea or me working out. I need to talk somewhat about my personal story. I need to discuss my physical transformation. I need to talk about my relationship, my husband, my cat, cooking for my husband, etc. I'm a newlywed. I need to have a client success story and something on clean eating, so that when someone comes to my page, that's the first 9 that they see. I've also recently added some calligraphy type of stuff because I wanted to show that I'm also working on myself and that there's more to me than just fitness. But I don't necessarily plan everything, but as long as they fit within these 9, you can't really see them all, but when they fit between these 9, I know I got it down. I also have themes that I want to make sure that, and I put this out there for myself. So this is what I wrote for myself, so that I can always think about it. And I go to this often. So education, right? What do I want to teach? What recipes? Am I talking about yoga? Am I talking about marketing? I want people to follow me to make them smarter. Inspiration, whether it's words or photos. I want people to know that they can have a lovely, joyful, funny life. Behind the scenes, what are my wants? What's the inside scoop? What are the sneak peeks? What's a day in the life like? So pictures of my desk, people of me, going to the post office, asking people to chime in on something, sneak peek of a product. And then community, what's my physical space look like? What do I do with people when I'm in classes, etc. I want that out there. I want people to feel like they're part of something when they're part of me, or part of what I'm doing. So that is I guess, the answer to the whole post question and how I kind of developed all of that. I do pay to boost my Facebook, and I've done a lot. Like, I've done a lot of stuff. I've done mistakes where I'm just like, oh, let me see $5 of work on this one, or let me see this, let me see that, and let me see targeting. And then I actually got into it. And there's a recent episode of Amy Porterfield's episode. Episode 92. That really helps with Facebook targeting, and it's helped me a lot recently on the money I'm spending on boosted posts and how much I'm getting in return. So that's working out. You should be posting 3 to 5 times a day on all social media. I have my Instagram link directly to my Facebook like page. And then sometimes, if I think it's appropriate, I'll put it to my personal page. And then my personal page, I also just kind of like do the stuff that everybody else does. Share funny videos, share inspirational videos, etc. So there's always a lot of content. So yeah, 3 to 5 times for sure. If you're waking up early to work out, that's a post. And then you're drinking your Shakeology, that's a post. Then what are you doing throughout the day? That's a post. Then what do you do when you get home and you work your business? That's a post. Like, that's like 4 posts right there, you know? How did I figure my avatar? I did Marketing Impact Academy, like I mentioned. And lesson 4, I put M1 lesson 4, so it's very early. It talks about your perfect customer. And who do you want that person to be? And she said to draw a little person, right? So my person's a woman, and then write everything you want that person to be. So I want that person to be in their 30s or late 20s. So 45 years old. I want them to love pets just as much as I do. I want them to meditate. I want them to have been somebody that has worked out in the past. They have had an active past. Somehow they lost it. They listen to NPR. They're pretty smart people. They like the color pink. They love girly colors. They like to go to concerts. They love to dance. They like to watch comedy. They're quick-witted. They're fun to be around. Doesn't take themselves too seriously. They're not really into beauty products. Sensitive to the world around them, you know. My tribe cries when the crane collapses, you know, like, we're that kind of people. Occupation, they're managers and supervisors in their fields. Their hobbies are hiking and dancing and outdoor stuff and swimming, etc. Their characteristics are silly. They have a sense of humor. They live on a coast. I have an affinity to water, and I work really well with other people who do too. So California, Seattle, Washington, and all of the Northeast, anyone who lives near the water in Texas, Gulf Coast, like, those people, like, I really relate to them. The inner part of the country is a little bit harder for me to relate to. Magazines, they're not really into pop culture. They usually catch on to things late in regards to, like, that kind of stuff. TV shows, they don't really watch anything, but they do binge watch on reality TV once in a blue. They are spiritual. They are in a relationship. Their income is $70,000 to $85,000 a year. They do not have children. Not to say that anyone who does not fit this bill, I'm not going to work with, because I will. But this is who I'm talking to all of the time. So that's how I did it. That was Marketing Impact. But obviously you can take that and just start writing, you know. Also, Audrey did a call like last year with Lindsay Matway. And Lindsay talked about the same thing. And you can find that on Audrey's YouTube page. So you should definitely take a look at that. My niche was put together. So my whole thing is about becoming a fit badass, discovering that you're a fit badass. And that's partly because that's something that I discovered. Like, crap, I could freaking do those push-ups in the air and land. Like, I could do that, and I could do all these crazy things, and I can do a pull-up, and that's freaking amazing. And I can hang with Al and like work out with him, and I feel really strong, and I don't feel like a weak girl. Like, I could do that, and that's not something that I always was able to do, you know. And I'm like, wow, I was able to figure all this out, home workouts. Like, that's amazing. Secondly, in my challenge groups, that was something that came out all of the time. Like, I feel kick-ass. I feel badass. I feel so strong. Like, this is amazing. Like, that's what I was getting out of my challengers. And we had this running joke because that song, I'm going to curse, Al. It's Boss Ass Bitch. I don't curse often, so that probably will make Al very happy. Be like, oh, she cursed on the call. But that song, one of my challengers found it. And we were like literally tagging that song every day. It was so funny to us. And so we made it our own version of it with like badass, you know, and working out, and how like that song just really resonated with us. And we started using a hashtag called BAB. So whenever somebody posted their workout, we'd be like hashtag BAB. So it just developed into that. And then I was like, why don't I just put that out there? Like, these are the girls I'm attracting. Like, we're freaking bosses. Like, we're strong. And so I started developing this brand that is about like, if you want to lose mad weight, and it's because you want to get into a teeny little bikini, cool. But you're going to discover how badass you are. And that's freaking cooler. You know, that's just kind of where that develops. And it really came from my challenge group and the people that I was already attracting without even developing a niche, you know? And that's just how it all came through. And then there's that news SNL script, Bad Girls. Oh my God, it's so funny. It's like so my challengers, like it's, and my coaches, like it's us to a T. It's about like regular women who like do stupid things and they feel like really tough, like not, like, I mean, you probably won't get this, but because I get this, so I don't know, but if you do, then you probably should switch teams. Just kidding. It's about like, if this is one part, the part that I laugh the most of is like she's with her husband in the supermarket and she has ice cream and like I'm like laughing already. She has ice cream and she's like, oh, I think we got everything, and she's naming everything they got, and she goes, an ice cream, and here I got the ice cream. He goes, oh no, honey, we already got that. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna put it back. And she goes, by the bread, and she puts it by the bread outside of the freezer. And then the song goes like, bad girls do it well, live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. And then like there's another one where the guy's like, honey, you know, can you take out the garbage? It's full. And she looks at it and it's like overfilling, and she puts her foot in there with a shoe and she smashes it down and she goes, no, honey, the garbage isn't full. And then it's like, live fast, die young, bad girls do it well. So that's my girls. Like, that's us. Like, to a T. So that is where I got that niche from. Like, amazing. Like, that was like, what? That's us. So right now, I play around with all of this. So what I do is in the beginning of the month, I take time to schedule a bunch of posts on my like page, because you could schedule that in advance. And I just like, you know, educational stuff, the stuff like the workout stuff, the food stuff, that stuff. I schedule all that in advance. And then I have my Instagram to go directly to my like page. So then some of the stuff that's just happening in life will go there. So there's relatable stuff. And then my personal page also, I do the forward from the Instagram, and then I just post whatever on there. So there's a little bit of variety, but there's also a constant, like all of my workout stuff, it's all going, you know, all of my Instagram stuff goes to both, which then also goes to my Twitter. So that's how I handle that. I really, and the same thing with my newsletters. I have newsletters. I spend a full day, or you could break that up into days, but I spend a full day working on 3 months worth of content. So I'm way in advance, right? And that's something that I learned from Melissa Casara. It's called batching, and she has that on her website, melissacasara.com. And she has a PDF called I Love Batching. She's also who I'm working with now to really develop like my tribe. So I think I answered all of the questions. Yeah. Apps, if you see my page, I don't use a lot of words. I don't use a lot of collages. My Instagram page, I like it to look clean. So if you see it, this is recently. This is like a new thing. There you go. Hey, it's in focus. It's recent. I like it to look clean. So I like my pictures to not have a lot of craziness on them. I like I'm drawing my own inspirational posts now. I'm just playing with it. If you go down a number of pages, a number of months down, you'll see that's different. But I chose that because a lot of people that I like to follow have very clean pages. And I'm like, wait, if I like to follow that, then why am I not following that? So then I always follow my list of 9. I just make sure the pictures are very, very clean, very clear, very bright. And I change the brightness on my pictures using Visco, VSCO. That is what I do. And then I do use Word Swag once in a blue. I do, that's pretty much all I'm using right now is Word Swag and Visco. That's it. I don't use the apps with the crazy words everywhere and the collages and the videos and all that because it's just not me. It's not, I tried it. It looked too crazy for me. And I was like, I felt like overstimulated on my own page. And I don't like that. And I feel overstimulated when I look at other pages like that. So I want to attract people like me. So I'm not going to do what all the other coaches are doing. That was my choice. If you like a lot of big words and you like fun fonts and that kind of stuff, go ahead, do it. I'm just not the one to tell you what apps work for that. So I'm not cutting out of 4 o'clock. I am just saying that I'm not sure I'm going to make it. So we'll leave it at that. It might just be a phone call so we can get clarity on some of the things. And maybe it's just questions and answers. All right. I love you. I got to go teach size. Bye.